Thanks for joining us. My name is Ibrahim Sani. In the studio is Farah Abdullah, the co-CEO of Bits Media, joining us from Singapore. Bits Media, of course, has a lot of properties online. One of them is, of course, Muslim Pro. I have that on my phone, actually. So, Farah, thanks very much for coming over to have a chat with us. It's been a while in terms of me trying to get Muslim Pro on. I've been trying to see how we can explore this conversation even better, but maybe you can talk to us in terms of the properties that Bits Media have first.
Sure, thank you, Ibrahim. Actually, for us, Bits Media is the publishers of Muslim Pro, and also recently we've just launched Qalbox, which is a streaming platform within Muslim Pro. So Muslim Pro, as you know, today we've just crossed our 150 million downloads mark.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And you know, Malaysia is actually one of the key markets for us, with 12 million downloads itself from Malaysia. So for Muslim Pro, we started in 2009. Our inception is still since 2009. 14 years later, today we've just crossed our 150 million mark, 22 million monthly active users, and inshallah we will be actually expanding to a lot more content proposition, which is where Qalbox is coming in.
Let's talk about Qalbox then.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Qalbox has just been launched. We launched it actually first in KL in December last year. So today we're at about 7 months in with Qalbox. So Qalbox is actually the tagline for Qalbox is the heart of Muslim entertainment. So we intend to actually introduce multi-formatted content within Qalbox, right? So you know, content has always been a little bit underserved in the Muslim community. You know, and based on our recent research, we saw that 55% of Muslim community actually wants much more content, not only in the faith-based elements, but also content that identifies with them, that tells the stories of their narratives. So that is also the reason why we introduced Qalbox. So Qalbox is going to be introducing multi-formatted content for the Muslim community. So the objective of Qalbox is actually to portray Muslim narrative, Muslim stories, but also we have quite a bit of the faith elements also, right? So we have things like Tadarus Al-Quran, Hadith of the Day, but also we have quite a bit of dramas, series, you know, and also films like Omar series, which is very popular, the Messenger films. So the idea is that this is the platform for all kind of Muslim-centric content.
Where is the demand coming in from the investors in terms of trying to find growth for your company? What kind of conversations do you have with them?
Well, I think a lot of the investors out there, they see that, you know, Muslim community is so big. We have 2 billion Muslims, right? So, but then the representation and also the business, the overall ecosystem is actually still very much underserved, right? So the reason why they have actually gone to us is because they see that we have a very good user base, right? We have a very engaged user base of 150 million Muslims. Now, this is only set to grow in the upcoming years, right? So for them, it's always to see, okay, now we've started with a very good utilities app. Now we're moving towards lifestyle. What else can we do for the Muslim community? What else can we provide for the Muslim community? And how can our platform serve this? And this is also the reason why our vision for Muslim Pro is that we become the digital home of all things Muslim. So content is just the beginning. So the reason content is because we wanted to engage with our users. We wanted to interact with them more, find out a little bit more what is it that they're looking for, what kind of content they're more privy towards, you know. And then after which we see how can we have partnerships, how can we have B2B partnerships in order to supplement them and in order to cater to what they're looking for.
So let's talk about the span of Muslim Pro right now. It's in over 190 markets. Has been translated into 22 different languages. Some of the elements include text-to-speech technology to recite Quran, translations in over 20 languages, including non-Muslim traditional languages like Korean, Norse, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian. We're looking at the kind of element where content is going to be driving the utility of the app.
Yeah.
However, for me, when I use Muslim Pro, it's mostly to use it at the background in terms of playing the Quran recitation. It's not necessarily an active kind of app that I want to interact with. For instance, Instagram or TikTok, where you interact directly live with it. What is the user behavior when it comes to your consumers using Muslim Pro right now? The kind of archetype of customers, and what kind of value do they get from Muslim Pro using a typical customer right now?
Okay, so I think, so you're right. At the very beginning, we started off as very much a utility app, right? So with that, you just go in and then you go out, which is exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But having said that, for us, we saw in the recent data by statistics is that 74% of Muslims are actually going to mobile devices, different kind of formats in order to attain information about Islam, right? So they're going to the YouTubes and the TikToks and the Instagrams, right? So for us, the reason why we entered into the content space is because we felt that, okay, now we have people who's just coming in and out. How can we engage them? How can we provide more for them, right? And content is the way to go, because the beauty of it being in Muslim Pro is that we can moderate it, right? We can make sure that only safe, moderated content is actually showcased in the app, and that's where we are actually, like, we've always been known for the most accurate prayer times, the most accurate and the most advanced Quran kind of technology, having it there. So we want to do the same for content. Now, content is just going to be a segue to other things. So say, for example, we will introduce multi-content genres, right? So we have films, drama, documentaries, and from there we can also get people to learn a little bit more about Islam, history, education, and edutainment, kids entertainment, which is also what we have. We can also enter into the Muslim narratives, right? And if you see today, there's a lot of Muslims out there that is not represented well in the media, right? So our objective is actually to see how can we allow the Muslim creators, the Muslim actor and actresses to shine. So that is the reason why we actually came up with Qalbox. And with that, we hope that we have more user engagement, in which after that, we can always see how we can evolve to become a bigger ecosystem, right? Now, if we see that our users like financial, Sharia compliant services, now how can we partner up with businesses that actually offers Sharia compliant services? So this is how we see the whole ecosystem of Muslim Pro and Qalbox.
The thing about content is that you're in competition with the social media platforms, and they have billion-wide reach in terms of interactivity. In fact, this TV station is capitulated, I suppose, to YouTube, to social media, and many more. How do you ensure that the folks that want this kind of content continues to use your platform instead of just going to, Twitter or Threads or whatever it's called now, X, or Facebook? There are a lot of value proposition that Muslim Pro provides, but can you withstand the might of social media right now?
No, I think, I don't see it as a competition, rather. I see it as a complementary services. So again, Muslim Pro aims to be the safe platform for Muslims worldwide. And to be honest, we've had a very good global outreach. And I think that's how we are a little bit differentiated, right? So first, we have our key markets are very varied. So our top markets are US, UK, Malaysia, Indonesia, and France also one of them. So the idea is that we provide safe, moderated content, but we also can actually complement and be, a platform for all things, an aggregator of all things Muslim, right?
Yeah.
So that is how we see that we're a little bit different. Right? And you see, for us, what we're doing is also we're complementing with other media partners. So for example, we have recently, and I think tomorrow we'll be launching our partnership with Astro, Astro Ultra Box and also Alti. So the idea is that, Astro is already a leading media and entertainment space. So for us is we want to enrich further the content that is available in Astro. We work together, so we will come in to actually come in with the Muslim entertainment portion, and that's how we actually work together to again give back to our user and create a more enriching experience for our user. So I've always seen it as it's not really a competition, it's a complementing, and it's a platform. Right now, if you think about it, there is no platform out there that is actually bringing global Muslims together, and I hope to be that platform one day, inshallah.
And because of this, do you feel that it's a bit daunting of a task being the pioneer in this space where you're trying to create a platform for these kind of creators? Is it daunting?
Of course, everything is daunting, right? Everything at the very beginning is daunting. And the thing is, Muslim Pro being the biggest, being the global and the leader in this space, we're always the one that is carving the path, right? And that's always a daunting task because, of course, you get everything's harder for you. It's the first time, if it works, of course, everyone will be looking at you. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first one to also take the fall. But I think, we're at a very good position to take up that space. We've been here for 14 years. We're not a new player. And I think that is the reason why this is the time for us to pivot and also move ahead very, very quickly in this whole ecosystem.
All right, talking about pivoting, the Qalbox integration with Astro's Ultrabox and Ultibox will probably use artificial intelligence in terms of content generation and content moderation. How is the application of AI going to impact the growth of Qalbox integration with Astro, Ultibox and Ultrabox?
Well, I think we have not gone there in terms of the integration for AI, right? So right now what we're doing is that we're integrating with Astro's box, and then users can actually enhance their experience by adding on Qalbox array of resources into their households. And the reason why is because we wanted to actually have a bigger distribution within Malaysia. You know, Malaysia is one of our biggest supporter in terms of Muslim Pro.
Yep.
We have 12 million downloads, almost 2 million monthly active users, and we want to do more, right?
If you shout at the news desk, at least 20%, no, I think 50% will have the app on their phones.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Yeah.
And we want to do more. So, you know, Astro has a very extensive network, right? So they have, I think, over 5 million households. So that's the reason why we want to make it accessible for people to attain Qalbox and by Muslim Pro, and that's why we actually work with Astro. Now, in terms of AI, now this is the very hot topic everywhere, right? AI technology. I really think that AI is going to be very integral to us as we aim to always stay ahead and be the thought leader in this space. Now, how can AI help us? I think it can really help in terms of giving us very good analytics, but also, you know, being a global app, we spend quite a bit of resources trying to localize, translate, you know, do localization in French, you know, like you said just now, we are in 22 languages, right? So I think AI can really help in this, but more so, I believe AI can really help in terms of recommendation engine. You know, now everyone wants customization, right? So this is how AI can really help.
That's exactly the next point that I want to ask. Personalized show recommendations, content curation, predictive search and analytics, automated translation and subtitling. These kind of items are critical in order for you to enhance the user experience. Everybody is doing it. If you don't do it, you're the odd one out. So will you have the capacity to use AI to actually adapt to these kind of personalized content curation to a point where consumers see you guys as, okay, instead of wasting time on TikTok, you guys are really the kind of app that I want to spend time with?
Yeah, now that's the vision, right? So AI, I mean, the recent influx of AI is just recently, and Qalbox has just been launched, I think now 7 months in, right?
Yeah.
So we're still very new. I have got to mention that, you know, there's a lot of key milestones that we've hit, but there's a lot more that we want to do. And I think this is the vision moving forward, is using AI technology to not only enrich our content proposition, customization, recommendation, but also moderation, Ibrahim, which is really important for us because, again, if you think about it, we're all about providing a safe, moderated, inclusive platform, right, for all Muslim communities. So this is the vision moving forward, and I really believe that AI will really contribute to this.
So there's 25% of the world's population being Muslims. Only 1% of Muslims are TV characters.
Funny, right?
Of film. To say that Muslims are underrepresented in the content creation world is a gross understatement. Do you feel that having a platform like Qalbox through Muslim Pro that Beats Media is doing can actually, move the needle a bit instead of 1%, 1.1% pun tak apa lah, it's probably still possible?
Yes, definitely, and I think that's one of the reasons why we entered into this space, right? It's because we want to be the platform for not only Muslim content creators but also Muslim actor and actresses, right? And if you see in normal media, at least in the global media, right, a lot of Muslim characters are portrayed in a certain manner. But Muslim is not just about... No. But not only that, it's a certain skewed manner, right? But we want to show them that Muslims is the largest community in the world, said to be the largest community in the world. So we are more than just, practicing certain things. Islam is a way of life, right? It is in the way we dress, education, financial, so there's a lot of things there. So the idea is that we want to be an aggregator where all Muslim content can be in one platform. So if you're a Muslim, you're looking for Muslim content, this is where you can actually identify with, you can see yourself, you can see content that you might want. And also, Muslim in Malaysia is very different from Muslim in, say, France or US.
Absolutely.
So we share the same kind of beliefs, right? So, but of course, the terms of cultural and everything is a little bit different. So we want to be able to bring this together, and so we have a more enriching experience. And that is also why, actually, Ibrahim, I wanted to, it's a very good segue because we are actually going to have a film festival soon that is driven by Qalbox by Muslim Pro, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the idea of this film festival is to actually be motivate content creators and filmmakers out there to actually come on board, create something meaningful, and we would support them in this whole ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay, taking a step back and looking at the macroeconomics of things right now, there's a streaming war that's happening around the world. A lot of money is now being drained out of the streaming competitors out there, and you're seeing big names being, I can't mention the names because because of my employer. Anyway, some of these big names just shutting down, and that's one aspect of how money is being drained from the creative world. Then, of course, you're looking at the writers' strike that is happening in the US. You're looking at the deprivation of imagination and creativity. And you're looking at some of these companies having to rely on looking into AI as content generating kind of capabilities. Then you look at Korea, for instance, where they have 10 seasons, 50 episodes per season kind of K-drama happening, and that is taking up a lot of airtime, literally, when it comes
and brain
to
space.
Yeah, brain space. So much brain space. This is ridiculous. People can just be absorbed over it, right? I dated one individual. She was like, "Oh my God, she's just completely absorbed over the whole thing." I'm like, "How many? I thought you're done. But this person died. No, this person died. But then this person, so the story goes on forever." So you're looking at all these macro challenges. How are you going to fit your business model in terms of trying to navigate these kind of existential situation that is currently happening in the creative industry?
No, challenges will always be there. There will always be a time for things going up, things going down. But I really feel two things, essentially. One is that we're really in this niche community. And our community is not that niche if you think about 2 billion Muslims, right? When you think about niche, you always think it's small, but it's actually not really small.
Yeah.
But we all share the same kind of unique identity and unique demands, right? Or wants or needs. So that is to me a very strong factor on its own, right? So I'm not too worried that all these things are happening with others because I know that we are covering our own kind of segmentation, right? So that's one. Secondly, again, because it's so underserved, I think, right now, like you said, 1% versus 25%, the whole ecosystems of halal ecosystem versus the whole Muslim community is so underserved, right? So I really feel that there is no one right now that is actually occupying this space, taking the lead in this space, right? So that is why also I really believe that there's only opportunities for us moving forward.
Let's talk about some of the titles. Little Mosque on the Prairie, Sultan and Khan,
Yes.
Omar. We're looking at some original productions of Qalbox, including Food from the Heart, Tadarus
Yeah.
Quran, Bilal, A New Breed of Hero, and many more. These kind of titles, I'm familiar with one or two of them.
Yeah.
How's the reception been in terms of creating content in-house, like Food from the Heart and Tadarus Quran, versus trying to see how you can leverage on outhouse production like Little Mosque on the Prairie and Sultan and Khan?
Well, I think there is a strength and weaknesses in both, right? So I think the strength of titles like Little Mosque in the Prairie, which is the #1 title in Malaysia, actually for our Malaysia audience, Little Mosque in the Prairie actually triumphs by far, followed by Sultan and the Han, which is a Turkish production,
Yep.
and then Omar, which is an iconic series on its own. But if you think about Little Mosque in the Prairie, this is actually an award-winning Canadian production, right? So it just shows that actually there is a demand for global content, but like I said, you want to understand how is it that Muslims out there that is not within your market are actually feeling, what are they facing with, and that is, I believe, is the key USP of our products, because we've always managed to transcend across the global market, right? So we bring different kind of content across different markets. So that's one. But having said that, original production is always going to be key to us also, because the reason being is that it's meant to fill up the gaps, right? So for those content that we cannot find out there, we're looking to actually produce it in-house, right? So that is actually one of our key things, because from there we can really customize what is it that our users are looking for.
That means you need a lot of firepower, a lot of capital, a lot of cash.
Well, I think think there is a lot of creative ways in which you can do it, and we're not looking into going into a long series, drama series or films yet. For now, we're actually sticking to a lot more of a faith-driven kind of content, but also more of identity pieces, more of interviews, more of food also, a little bit of food. Like for example, Food from the Heart, we actually showcase a couple in Perak. So it actually does very well, and we see like people in France watching this.
Wow, really?
Yes, of course. So that is the beauty of it, right?
Okay.
Is that essentially you are bringing the world to Malaysia and Malaysia productions to the world. So I think that is where we're actually, that's the beauty of having a global app that actually, but we are all binded by the same values. So that is actually one of the things that we're really pushing forward.
What's the appeal of staying in Singapore? Why not have the office back in KL?
It's funny that you're saying that. So of course, we started in Singapore. So the founder was in Singapore, and then we developed it from here. So of course, as it goes along, things are a little bit more costly right now, and we're seeing that Indonesia and also of course Malaysia is coming up really big in terms of content as a content hub within the region. So right now, more and more, we're actually pivoting to investing in Malaysia. So an example is that we've already spent more than 3 million RM actually in Malaysia for our content productions and also content collaborations. So we also work with guys like Astro, Pixel Play to actually co-produce or to actually have post-productions work here. In fact, here we're also having our tech support, our content team, and also our legal team is also here. So more and more we're looking to expand in Malaysia in terms of our infrastructure, but also we aim to actually make Malaysia the content hub for us. So we want to acquire content from here, we want to work with the production houses here, and we actually have set quite a good budget to be allocated for Malaysia.
Okay, final question is on using data-driven approach, using analytics to understand data behavior of your consumers, see what works, what doesn't, when to kill a show, when to pump more money into the show.
Yeah.
How is that being done right now?
So we're a very data-driven kind of, all that we do is actually data-driven. So we have some data as to where the viewers are watching, completion rates, conversions rate, retention. To date, we've already had 1.5 million plays of all of our videos, So we're seeing where is it that they're going, which content appeals to them, which content doesn't, and then that's how we actually mix it up. We also work with partners to see how we can actually bring in a different array of content so that they can actually be exposed to it, and then we see from there what works and what doesn't, right? For now, I can tell you already, in the 6 months that we've been with Qalbox, we saw that, of course, naturally, a lot of them are skewed towards the more faith-centric kind of content, right? So our hadith, our Quran, our history about prophets is doing very well. But what we're seeing, interestingly, is actually edutainment content is also starting to really take ownership in the viewership, right? So a lot of them are looking for all these animations that also have a little bit of a education element, shows that have an education element, and that's going to structure how we're going to further develop the products. And then, of course, we're seeing a lot of iconic Muslim titles, actually, like The Messenger, Omar series, doing very well. Turkish is also doing very well. Also in the Southeast Asia region, Turkish shows is doing very well. So I think that we will definitely continuously see what is it that our users are looking for, and then after which we will customize and curate it accordingly.
What's the growth plan globally?
A lot, actually. So whatever we've been doing have always been on a global basis because our top markets.
It has to be because you're looking at 2 billion consumers out there.
Exactly. So we're just at at the surface of it. But the idea is that actually the vision is that for Muslim Pro to be a super app in the future. So like I mentioned, we started off very basic utilities app. Now we're entering into content ecosystem, and then next time we would like to definitely enter further into the whole Islamic ecosystem, right? Like whether it's halal segmentations, whether it's e-commerce, whether it is transactions, So there's a lot of different ways in which we can do it, but these are all in the plans, and we'll definitely share more. But first, it will be the festivals and the content kind of enriching.
The kind of risk that I look at your business is on the issues of spiritual schism that might happen on the platform because Islam is not generic. There's 1,001 faces to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how are you going to navigate this kind of risk?
well. So how we've been navigating it, I mean, we've been here for 14 years, right? So how we've been navigating it is that we've always mentioned that we are not we are not for any specific sect, or we are not for any specific kind of teaching, you know. We're all about the platform, right? So we aim to be superior in terms of product development of the platform. Now, all the different kind of content, different kind of initiatives that we do there, is up to you to choose what is it that we're looking for. But here we're providing you a safe, moderated content space. Then it's up to you to see, okay, does this apply to you? Does this, because we are across, right? We're in Iran, we're also in Turkey, we're also in US, UK and everything. So all of them have a different kind of way.
You bet.
Exactly, but they are all, you know, they have the same beliefs, they have the same fundamentals. But then our job is to actually put it out there, and then it's up to them to pick and choose.
You know, if anything, everybody wants to be entertained eventually at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Entertained and educated.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That was
Thank you so much,
Farhanullah, the
Ibrahim.
co-CEO of Bits Media.
Thank
Learn
you.
more about their offerings of Qalbox, and perhaps you can even check it out on Astro, Ultrabox and Outbox as well. My name is Ibrahim Sani. Catch you in the next one.